We have a very important and exciting week for crypto. In today's video, we'll be going over the recent price action of Bitcoin and how you should be trading this market. We'll also be talking about our whale friend that put in a $400 million Bitcoin short and how he is navigating this market. And we'll also be going over the most important news pieces that you need to pay attention to. If you enjoy the content, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. Let's jump right into the video. First of all, let's cover the whale that we've been looking at very closely. We can see here that these are his current positions in the crypto market. He is currently on a 40x short for Bitcoin with $4.6 million in profit as I'm recording this video. His liquidation level is now around $86,000. He is also longing the cryptocurrency that I've actually been looking at, Hype, and for some reason, he's also longing Melania. Now, I think he entered this Melania trade just because there was speculation all over Twitter that this guy was part of the Trump team, and he entered this Bitcoin short supposedly because Trump was about to announce some kind of new tariffs. This is the theory that a lot of people on crypto Twitter have. Now, last night, as soon as I published my video, something crazy actually happened. A lot of big players decided to get together and chase this guy's liquidation level when it was around 85.5K. If we go to the Bitcoin chart, what we can see here is that, let me just go on the 1 hour time frame quickly. What we can see here is that we actually wicked all the way to around $85,000 as it was looking like we were going to close the week below the 200-day moving average. Now, a lot of people teamed up and tried to push the Bitcoin price higher, but unfortunately, it was without success because one, we didn't even make it to 85.5K, which would have been his liquidation level, but two, this whale also deposited $5 million into his account as collateral, and his liquidation level then increased. So this guy definitely knows something, but perhaps he's just trying to shake us out of the market. Now, if we look at the 1 day time frame, we got the confirmation. We closed the week below the 200-day moving average, which was not a positive sign. Now, we discussed my conditions for me being bullish again. The first one hasn't even been met yet, which is holding this blue line, the 200-day moving average, as support. Now, this should be a very volatile week because we'll hear the interest rate decision and we'll also get to hear how Jerome Powell is actually talking about the markets. Will he be dovish or will he be hawkish? So right now, if I was trading Bitcoin, I would only really consider longing Bitcoin if we are to hold the 200-day moving average as support. Until then, shorts, in my opinion, have still been very valid. Now, I say that with a little bit of reluctancy because it seems like the narrative is kind of shifting. I'm seeing more and more people talking about shorting the market. And as you know, we've been bearish since 106K, but I'm a little bit concerned because usually when everyone starts saying, let's go ahead and short the market, that's when we get some kind of pump to the upside before moving lower afterwards to wipe out all of those shorts. And don't take my word for it. Let's look at the data. As we can see, if Bitcoin makes it to just around 92.5K, there is over $4.5 billion in short liquidations there. Versus if we are to retest the lows again, and let's say we go to 74K, there's only about $250 million worth of longs. So it does tell me that potentially we could pump, grab that liquidity before we move lower, or perhaps we will just move lower. But it's very tricky to navigate this current market. Now, when it comes to trading, you need to be careful, especially when we have the FOMC meetings because there's a ton of volatility. But volatility also means opportunity. So if you're looking to trade this market, make sure to click the first link in my description down below. It brings you directly to weeks where you can earn a 50% deposit bonus. That means that if you deposit just $2,000 to your account, you get $1,000 back for trading purposes. And of course, you get to keep all of those profits on your trades. So if you like that kind of trading bonus and you're a regular trader, make sure to click the first link in my description down below to sign up. All you need is an email and a password. And right before I recorded this video, some news came out about Michael Saylor's strategy. They purchased 130 Bitcoins between March 10th and March 16th at an average price of $82,981. So you might be thinking, great, this is bullish. That equates to around $10.7 million worth of Bitcoin. And by Michael Saylor's standards, those are baby numbers. Is his cash drying up? Now, you can see that in the comment section. We talked about it a little bit, but someone said he will buy billions when Bitcoin is back at 100K. And I said, true, he does love buying the top. Michael Saylor has notoriously poured billions of dollars in Bitcoin around the local tops time and time again. He doesn't seem to care where the price of Bitcoin currently is at because he really thinks in the long term. But if he was really thinking long term, why wouldn't he buy more Bitcoin at these lower levels? It's only a question that he can answer ultimately, but this is something that you do need to consider. Is his cash drying up? Are investors starting to lose a little bit of faith in strategy? Now, speaking of Bitcoin holdings, here's a list of all of the Bitcoin holdings by nation. USA, 207,000 Bitcoins. China, 194,000 Bitcoins. The UK, around 61,000 Bitcoins. Ukraine, 46,000 Bitcoins. Bhutan, 13,000 Bitcoins. El Salvador, around 6,000 Bitcoins. The UAE, 4.7 thousand Bitcoins. Finland, just under 2,000 Bitcoins. And Georgia, 66 Bitcoins. And we know Germany has become a meme at this point as they offloaded all of their Bitcoin holdings, which would be significantly in profit at this point. Now, something that I posted in relation to this post was North Korea. They technically own 13,500 Bitcoins. And why? Well, the Lazarus group, the infamous hacking group, it just came out that they actually converted all of their stolen Ethereum into Bitcoin, and they're now holding over $1 billion worth of Bitcoin, something to definitely keep your eyes on. So overall, while I've still been relatively bearish, when do I think that things could change? Well, as you know, we discussed monetary policy at length on this channel, and this came out on Polymarket. Will the Fed end quantitative tightening before May? A 100% chance on Polymarket. This has now closed. So a lot of people bet on the fact that the Fed will end QT, which is positive for risk assets in the medium to long term. If we look at the ETH Bitcoin chart, we've been over this time and time again, but this line over here would tell us when QT ends, and it would likely just go ahead and flatline, looking something like this. Now, I have it on the ETH Bitcoin chart because typically when it does end, that is when ETH can start outperforming Bitcoin, and the rest of the altcoin market should likely follow. So make sure you keep your eyes on this. Before May, the Fed should end quantitative tightening. And this is backed by real money. People were betting on this. So the fact that this is 100% should fuel bullishness later in Q2 this year. And there's two last things that I want to show you before I close out this video. First of all, we have a lot of people bull posting on Twitter talking about how different countries are buying Bitcoin. But you need to make sure that the dates are accurate. We have this guy that came out, and look at this tweet. It performed extremely well, 100,000 views, just under 3,000 likes. We can see here that he's saying Abu Dhabi buys over $460 million in Bitcoin. But I went ahead and responded to him with my chat log with Grok. As we can see, these numbers were actually there before the new year. So when people come out and say that they just bought over $460 million in Bitcoin, you need to make sure that you're really doing research on what they're saying. A lot of these guys just engagement farm, and they'll post these things even if it happened several months ago. So just be careful the kind of information that you're taking in on a daily basis. Now, the last thing that I want to end this video with is the fact that President Trump is set to speak with Putin regarding a Ukraine peace deal with a potential announcement on Tuesday per Bloomberg. Apparently, there is a very good chance for a deal. And I would expect that if a deal is reached, we should expect at least a short-term pump for Bitcoin. So prepare yourself for this because yes, of course, we have our levels on the chart, but if there is a deal here, I would expect Bitcoin to push up at least a little bit. I mean, if stocks and Bitcoin didn't rally after this potential deal, I don't know what else would bring us higher. And the last thing I just need to show you, our Discord community members are absolutely printing at the moment. Despite the price action of Bitcoin, there are so many opportunities in the market. Today, before I recorded my video, I talked about the Mubarak meme coin, which launched on Weeks, and it was sitting at around a $130 million market cap. Basically, I entered a trade, and that trade brought us 500% by shorting this token. Now, you'll remember that this is in line with my strategy of shorting tokens before they get listed on major exchanges. That's why I choose Weeks to trade these tokens, which is the first link in my description down below. You'll want to sign up because you can get insane bonuses, and you'll also have the opportunity to trade these coins before major exchanges list them. So the reason why I was shorting this token is because I thought it was heavily overvalued, and then we got a Bybit listing and a Binance listing. And typically when we get the Binance futures listing of these tokens, they nuke. So all of our community members were already in a short, and naturally we printed all together. As we can see here, if I go into this chat, we have a member that made just under $15,000 by following this trade. So if you like trading the crypto markets and you want a little bit of guidance, make sure you join our pro Discord, which is the second link in the description down below. And that sums up today's video. We have a pretty huge week ahead. Hopefully Trump can broker a deal between Russia and Ukraine, and hopefully the FOMC meeting goes as intended, and Jerome Powell gives us a hint as to when we can end quantitative tightening. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.